in Guam. You've been here pretty often. You don't stay anywhere particularly too long, but you're familiar with enough with this place that it's somewhat comfortable. You stop by whenever you can. Tell me, how are you passing your time here?
At this cantina right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I think Hal right now is finding himself one of those rare times where he's actually a little bored. And there's a little TV, old school like CRT or something up in the corner with like no sound. This is on a news station, and he's kind of wandering. His eyes are wandering that way, looking up at it, and he's got a what would he drink? Probably a martini in his hand. And he's
Sure.
sipping away at it.
Yep.
Um,
It's
he,
a
he
it's a cheap martini. It's made well enough, but it's a little the glass is a little dirty and there's a little bit too much of one thing or another in it, but it's serviceable. It makes you're used to it.
Serviceable is his middle name. So yeah. I imagine he's not exactly ringing in the dough, but he has the freedom of life, right? Like this allows him to do what he wants where he wants and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Exactly. And
Hmm.
you're no stranger to odd jobs occasionally. Um, you get some time here and there to work for this individual person or shuttle this person here or there off the books. And it just so happens that you're waiting for one of your regular contacts right now. He's late by almost an hour now, and he's never been super good at keeping the time, but he's also never this late.
Hmm. Is he pretty well known around here?
In the right circles, not typically by civilians, we'll say.
Huh. All right. What about the bartender?
Bartender would
Bartender
know
know?
him. He does business here quite often.
Hmm. I think Hal's maybe drumming his fingers on the table or on the bar top actually. Um, he's bored at this point. He's gonna start looking around the cantina here to see what the patronage looks like as he waits very impatiently.
It's a slow day today. The summer heat has caused a great deal of people to want to stay closer to the coast. Um, but here in this specific cantina, it has a bit of a reputation for being a little rough. So there are still figures here that understand that this is a place of blind eyes, we'll say. It's
Mm.
not necessarily thriving with criminal activity, but the figures here are certainly the type. Um, Occasionally, there's a pretty barmaid that, or barmaiden, a pretty waitress that will smile, and a couple of people will kind of nervously laugh. But beyond that, it's dull today.
No, that's the boredom. Yeah, I think he would probably smile back at the waitress. But this missing person or late person is on his mind and at the forefront of his mind. He leans over to what's do I have the name of this person?
Sure, we'll call him. What would you like to call him? Actually, I'll let you come up with his name. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Damn you.
Oh, damn it. What is he? I can come up with a name. What's he
um,
do?
he is a bartender who also oftentimes takes bribes to redirect the police and give them false leads. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I meant more so the guy I'm waiting for. Do I
Oh,
know?
oh yes.
Okay,
Let's call him Bryce.
Bryce. So I'm gonna lean over to the bartender and just say, Bryce isn't usually this late.
See, uh, he's not really the type for punctuality. He's not really the type for punctuality either, though.
Good point. I think this goes a little beyond his usual, though.
He shrugs. He goes, "Eh, late, early, makes no difference to me. Do you want something else to drink?"
Yeah, why don't I have another? He slides the glass forward.
Coming right up. Your phone starts to buzz.
All right. Hale will reach for his phone instinctively, kind of casually sliding it out in front of him.
It's Bryce's number.
He'll answer, or is it a text?
It's a call. It's a call.
Yeah, yeah. You're late.
Hal, my boy. I'm so sorry, but something's come up. I'm still in town, but
What's her name?
I wish it was that situation this time, but no, it's a little bit more serious than that. Um, I found something, and well, I need to meet face to face, but I can't do it at the usual places. Where's your plane at?
My plane?
Yeah, where's your you've got transportation, right? It's not in the shop or anything, yeah?
Of course, of course. What do you take me for? Here, I'll send you the coordinates.
Ah, cheers. Oh, I gotta tell you, I've been in some spots, but this is something else. All right, but I'm excited
I
though.
imagine we're gonna talk payment when I get there.
Of course, yeah.
Of
You know I'm good for it. It'll be fine. We'll talk in a little bit. I'll see you.
course. He'll hang up, and then I assume like the martini's just about ready when he finishes.
Right about right.
Yeah. So he'll reach for it just very casually, like not even looking that way. Um, Completely slam it in one go, slide it back on the table, reach in his pocket and grab the little currency, and then slide it out on
Oh,
the table and leave.
I desperately hope you aren't planning on flying with that, but that's all right. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Um,
Was that Liam or the bartender?
that was Liam.
Okay.
I don't think the bartender cares enough, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
um, yeah. So as you start
Wouldn't be
making
the first time for Hale, I'm sure.
as you start making your way down
Hmm.
towards the docks or wherever it is that your plane is parked, um, you start to notice that a couple of parts of the city are cut down. Like there's police block barricades and sirens going on and off, and the cops in this town are more or less somewhere between acceptable and corrupt, but this seems like something definitely has gone down.
Hmm. I think Hale isn't one for caution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think his curiosity is triggered here. I think he's gonna um, take a closer look, see what's going on. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
As you approach the police barricade, one of the police officers kind of stops you and goes, "Hey, sorry, senor, no getting through."
Mm, what's the meaning of this? I have my plane over there. It's my business.
Oh, you can go around the long way. There was a shooting recently.
Shooting.
Hmm.
Hale's kind of trying to look past them a little bit on his tippy toes. Yeah.
It's hard to see. It seems like they've got a pretty decent, like if they're blocking off this part of the city, it seems like they're doing a manhunt rather than cordoning off a specific area of the shooting. So it's like a big area, a whole chunk of the city is kind of locked off.
I think Hale will, Hale doesn't have a lot of money, so this will be comical, but he'll actually pull out a handful of like uh, very, very small amount of money and say, well, what's it gonna take to make this trip faster?
Lovely. Okay, so here's
Yeah.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna give me your first check of the night.
Okay.
I'm going to take a eloquence check from you, which I believe you're fairly skilled in.
Yeah. He has.
You've got, I
Is it
believe,
2? Yeah.
5, because you count
Five.
society
Five
as well.
total. Yeah.
Correct. All right, go ahead and roll me 5d6. Now, this is just going to be a basic success you're looking for, so you just need one pair.
Oh. I'm trying to roll it in the stream. Genius. One sec. I was like, why is it not working? All right. Okay. So pair of 6s.
There you go. That's what you need.
All right.
So, you hand him, a handful of bills, and he looks at the amount and just kind of rolls his eyes, but he still pockets it and goes, "All right, tell you what, you go down that alleyway, make a left, and then go straight through. You tell if you run into anybody, you tell them that Jose sent you, and you're fine. All right, but keep
You
it
got it,
quick."
Jose. And he says, of course, of course. And I think he pretty much saunters.
Attaboy.
Maybe a slight bit past that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The only time he's seen doing more is probably under gunfire or soon to be. So,
Perfect. So, as you kind of make your way through these alleyways, you start to hear little bits of gunfire coming from further into the barricades. You're kind of going around the outskirts right now, so you don't feel like you're in immediate risk, but whatever happened is happening.
yeah, so this is where that whole curiosity killed the rat, but he had fun first kind of plays in. I think Hal is too interested in what's going on to follow the directions Jose gave him. So he is definitely going to get closer. He'll probably employ like some attempt to hide himself as he does so, as not to create a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can get any closer to the actual action to see what's going on, he will do so. Obviously, not running out in the middle of an open
Yeah,
area
yeah.
to do so, but
Why
there's
don't
gunfire after all.
Why don't you give
So,
me either a crime and stealth check or a crime and alert check? I think they're both about the same for you either way.
yeah, they're identical. So 4 dice.
You're
Doing so
just
right now.
you're just looking for a basic success. Nobody's really looking for you, and even if they were, it wouldn't be a huge deal. Pair of 4s.
2 Air Force. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you kind of creep your way towards a little bit more into the area, and as the sound of gunfire starts to come a little further, you find a fire escape that you can climb up that is right on the edge of a town square that you're familiar with. And as you climb it, you see that there's a couple of military-looking ACPs, as well as about 24 armed, what look like mercenaries, that have kind of turned this town center into a little command center. And right in the center of the square, there's a fella or two who seem to be talking to a prisoner of some kind. And you start to realize that the prisoner is Bryce.
Okay. That is surprising, I think, for Hale. He's going to, I think he's gonna stay and listen while he can, and maybe look for an opportunity where he might be able to. I don't think it's past Hale to get involved with police business on the wrong side. He doesn't probably do it that often, but I mean, he only temporarily lives here, right? He can probably manage this.
Yeah, it should be manageable. So,
Yeah, everything will be fine. I think he's going to both listen and look for an opportunity, something he might be able to do to draw their attention away.
well, the sound carries pretty well in this town center, but you also have some difficulty from the distance that you're at. You're thinking about maybe getting up and moving, trying to see if you can get closer, when something that Bryce told the man sends him in like kind of a jolt up, and he yells something to the other soldiers, and about half of them leave. It seems like they're spreading out to search for something specifically.
All
However,
right.
good news, there's less people in this courtyard. You might have a good shot at sneaking down to Bryce, or
Yeah,
at least getting closer enough to hear.
if they're fanning out, I mean, there's no chance of him really following one of these guys to see what they're looking for, and there's a chance that they're looking for Hale. So he's gonna keep his head down and look for an opportunity to get closer to Bryce.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you another stealth check, but this time I'm gonna say if you want to wait a little bit longer and potentially miss important parts of the conversation, I'll give you 2 extra dice to your roll.
Nope.
Nope, just hell to it. Let's go. All
Yeah.
right, cool. You're looking for a single basic success is all you need.
Hey, look at that. That's good, right? 3 or no?
3 is a critical success, so you're gonna get even more.
3
So
6.
yeah,
Does the 1 do anything, or is it just
nope.
another number in
It's
the?
just another
Okay.
number. So
It looks like it's yelling at me because it's red.
it's
and
red,
the
yeah.
1.
So you wiggle your way down there, and sure enough, you kind of time it right. It's not your first time sneaking into an area that is not you're not supposed to be, and you manage to work your way over and kind of press your back against one of the APCs and then crawl under it. And as you're under it, you can hear a lot clearer. And the guy who's talking to Bryce is speaking pretty loudly, and he goes, wait, did I use? Yeah. Mr. Howard, it's so good to finally have my hands on you. Do you know how much trouble I've been through? And yet, you seem to not understand the stakes here. Tell us where you've hidden it, for real, certainty, not with some ambiguity, and I promise you, I won't harm you. And Bryce kind of goes out. He's like, I told you already. I gave it to my friend. He's not here, so if you want to find it, you're going to have to find him first. All right? I mean, honestly, it was his idea in the first place. Look, I don't even care about the treasure. Like, if you find it and you find him, I'm good. I'll forget about it. You won't even know about me. But I just can't direct you to it. He goes, if it's with your friend, then why don't you tell us where he is? He goes, I know he sometimes hangs around the truck company at the border of town, but I mean, that's so far from here, it'd probably be a hassle for you to get there, right? The other man sighs and like backhands Bryce so far that he falls down. And as he falls down, he looks right at you and sees you, and there's a moment of shock on his face, but he immediately lets it go and doesn't show anything further as the man picks Bryce back up and he goes,
Hal has his finger to his lips. When he does that. Yeah.
and he goes, listen, I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And if you don't tell me where it is, or we haven't found your friend, then I'm breaking both of your legs. And I'm going to make sure I do it permanently. So please, by all means, lie to me. And he throws Bryce to the ground, and he strolls off. He takes 2 more guys with him. So right now there's only about 3 guys left in this courtyard.
All right. And remind me, what am I under? What is Hal under right now?
Hal
What is
is
he?
underneath an APC, so it's
Okay.
like a big military truck with like
Yeah.
with like 8 wheels. So
Okay. I think Hal's going to roll out from underneath on the far side, so he's not like right with Bryce.
mm-hmm.
And he's gonna check and see, just like kind of crawl up to the APC and see if he can find there's a good chance maybe that someone left it active, in the sense of maybe parked in the but it's possible he can get it going.
The
I don't know
keys
if there's
are
a key.
indeed in the ignition.
I was trying to think. I'm like, would they have key
It
key
seems
starts?
it's
Sort of thing.
if there's not, then I'm not aware of it. So
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
sounds great.
Um,
All right.
Yeah, so the keys are in the ignition, and it seems like they were planning on making a quick getaway if they needed to. So they weren't expecting to be here as long as they were, clearly.
All right. So I think Hal's gonna, do that thing where he keeps his head down, like almost crouching in the driver's seat. Well, obviously he's gonna try to sneak in. If he can like crawl through the window, he'll do so rather than opening the door. If the window is shut, then he'll have to open the door. Start
Uh,
there.
Door opens. It's not even locked. It seems like these guys they weren't really planning for anything to go wrong here.
All right. And then I think with that, he's going to turn the ignition and, you know, um, call to Bryce or
Bryce,
kick the door open, the
Bryce is
passenger door.
Yeah, Bryce is already like
Okay.
he's trying to get to his feet. His hands are bound, but he keeps going. He's like, Hal, what are you doing? You
We
gotta get
got this under control. It'll be fine. Just
you
jump
gotta
in.
I oh dear, and he moves and like kind of throws himself into the back. Just as a couple of the soldiers notice, they go, "Hey, you!" and they start firing bullets. Unfortunately for them, the APC is near bulletproof, and you are very much safe once you're inside. So. Who knows how long that'll last, but you've got some safety as you're in this thing.
All right. And is Bryce able to get in? Am I gonna have to like pull him in at
Um,
this point?
I think you're gonna need to pull him in. Why don't you give me a stunt check here to
Okay.
try to lift him in here? Now, I believe that's gonna be 5 pips, 5 dice for you, because you got 2 in
Yep.
action and 3 in stunt.
Yes, sir. One sec.
You got guts,
Uh,
kid.
2 1s. Does that count?
That does indeed count. The red
Okay.
scares you, but a pair is a
All
pair.
right.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's enough. You're able to grab him kind of by the collar and pull him in as you start to zoom off. Why don't you give me another check here too? Why don't you give me a fun little uh, guts and drive as you try to make your way down to the docks?
All right. And 3 4s.
3 4s. That is a critical success. So yeah, you jam right through the police barricade, right down the right down the streets. Nobody seems to stop you, and in fact, you can tell that even though like the amount of time that it took you to get in this, you did it pretty smooth. They're likely still scrambling. By the time that they are like moving, you're likely miles away from them already. So,
I I think as we're going, even though he's like full of shit with this comment, he's gonna be like, I'm pretty sure my plane is down this way, or is it at the other docks? It's just to get Bryce worried. Uh,
oh, you have got some serious balls on you, Hal. I don't know how you keep putting yourself in these situations.
well, the martinis helped. They might help less when I'm flying, but we'll figure that out.
Oh, good lord. All right, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to be in this town anymore. I'm over it.
That's good because I'm pretty sure if you stayed, you'd be dead.
Oh, you know,
I have to ask you, what you managed to get your hands on here that you have all this attention, but we'll find out soon, won't we?
don't worry. They didn't find it, but I do actually still have it on me. I think I think I found something big, Hal. Something real big.
I think unless he's gonna continue, it's probably a good. I don't think Hal will poke right now. I think he's
Perfect.
curious, but he knows it's coming. So
You guys are able to make a clean getaway. The police, sure enough, are unhappy about the APC roaming through the streets. Uh, but you guys, you generally keep. What's your plane called? What do you want to call your plane?
oh man,
Sorry to put you on the spot there.
is he um hmm.
If you want, we can come back to it in a second.
Yeah, let's come back to it.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I'm gonna go with something like super corny and on the nose and definitely Final Fantasy-ish. but it works because he's a gambler too. I'm gonna go with blackjack.
Blackjack. I like that. All right. As you make it to the blackjack, it makes a clean getaway. You're right off out of there, and you generally keep it, fueled up because I'm sure you've been run out of more than one town before.
Oh, yeah,
um,
definitely. This is probably the biggest port, but we'll figure that out.
as you guys are going, how, what's his name? Bryce goes.
Chris.
Oh, it's nice to be up in the air. All right, set your heading for South America.
Mm, all right.
I got a
Yeah,
friend. I got a friend there that I want to bring on this. If that's anything to show, we're gonna need somebody with a little bit more grit.
South America it is. And
And
with that, I can see the plane turning in the air.
yeah, perfect. We had a nice little transition. So, Mr. Mark,
Yes.
how are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Um, sure enough, you guys make camp, and within 2 more days, no progress has been made. It seems like Hector keeps thinking that he's really close, but every day it turns into nothing. A good chunk of his men start to desert, and before too long, it's only you and a handful of other guys, including the young kid that you rescued from the snake. You find him in his tent one night over a map. It's so late in the evening that it's clearly unhealthy for him.
Hector, we need to talk.
I. What bad news do you wish to deliver to me now, huh?
I suppose there is not much more I could add. At this point, we are running off of a quite literal skeleton crew. I worry that if a sickness is to spread through the group, well, there won't be anyone left to continue this little mission.
If we turn back now, we'll be arrested. Everything that we fought for will be for nothing.
But we will have our lives. My interest here is protecting the lives of everyone here, including you, Hector. This is not healthy.
I can't turn back. If you have to go, go. Take whoever you want with you, but if I have to die here, so be it.
This is madness, Hector. You're chasing after something that, well, may not even exist.
It has to be here. It has to be. Otherwise. And he just kind of looks back down at the map and he goes, I know I'm close, but we've checked here, and it should be right here, but it just isn't.
In either case, you need some sleep. These long nights are not very helpful towards your mental state.
All right. I'll get some rest. Thank you, my friend.
I'm doing what I can, Hector, but even I have my limits. I'm not a miracle maker.
I know. We'll talk in the morning. I promise.
All right, good. Now, off to sleep.
That night, you're awoken to the sounds of muffled shouts. As you get up out of your bed, you can see that. As you get out of your tent, you can see that a good deal of military soldiers are here, and they've taken the band of rebels hostage. For whatever reason, no one has come to arrest you, and you can also see one of the not necessarily younger, but one of the lesser soldiers is also unharmed. He seems to be standing alongside the military, and his eyes are glancing downward.
Mm. I think Morgan would kind of look around, step out of his tent. If one of the soldiers turned to him, he'd just put his hands up and say, "I am but a doctor here to help out."
There's an older military man, kind of a grayed beard and a patrol cap. He sees one of the soldiers approach you, but he puts up his hand. He goes, "Ah, I have heard of you. Please, come here."
Of course. Make
Mm.
his way over. And go, I am Dr. Morgan Dalton.
I know who you are. Please.
Yes. Forgive me, I am a little nervous.
Do you know who you travel with?
Only partially. I am here simply as medical personnel.
Medical personnel. Interesting. Medical personnel serves terrorists now?
I do not serve terrorists. No, I simply do as I am requested.
Simply do as you requested. I
I
see.
am here to save lives, sir.
Interesting. Then perhaps you can help me save a life this evening. Hector, would you come out here, please? And two soldiers kind of drag Hector out of his tent. He's clearly been beaten. And they kind of prop him up on his knees, and he goes, "Tell me, help me save a life here. Is this man your leader?"
At this point, Morgan kind of look around, try to get a feel of the situation. I don't know if there would be a role for that.
So here's what you see. There's I'll just go ahead and tell you. So
go
you've got one enemy group that is about 5, 6, maybe 7 soldiers, decently armed but not that well armed. They clearly arrived here in the same jeep, and they are what is considered a critical enemy. Now, if you were to get in combat with these fellas, you would need to score 3 critical successes on them to wipe them out. What that means is basically you got to get 3 of a kinds before you die.
Yeah.
That being said, it's still pretty tricky for them to kill you. So your odds are decent. Now, to survive, you'll be making stunt checks to try to dodge their bullets, and you can augment that with getting into cover and things like that. And to hurt them, you'll be either rolling fight checks to punch them into unconsciousness, or shoot checks to shoot them. And you're quite good at shooting them. So that is the assessment that you make. It is doable by yourself, but it's also risky.
I think in that case, he's going to look to the man that's in charge and say, "What is the outcome if I were to say yes?"
If you say yes, then you save lives. Everybody here, all of these young men, they've been corrupted by a singular influence. If you cut off the head of the snake, then the rest can be cured. But if this isn't the leader, then I'm afraid none of these people can be saved, save for you and the young man who told us where you were hanging. After all, Hector here has vouched for you, said that you are a mercenary hire, man of medicine, an educated man. Show me what you can do. Save a life.
Trying to think about the situation.
It's certainly a tense one.
Yeah. At this point, he's mostly going to look to his environment to see if there's anything he can take advantage of, or something he might notice, like a similar-looking snake that seems to be heading in their direction. Something that might serve as a a good distraction.
Tell you what, why don't you make me a survival check? How about that?
Ooh, all right then.
Ooh. So I believe that will be 4 pips for you. 2 wild and 2
Yep.
survival.
That is true. 4 dice.
Ooh, that is
3 twos.
that's a critical success. Okay,
Yeah.
so here is what you notice. There aren't a lot of snakes. You know, they've kind of been scared away by the action and all the stuff that's been going on. But your camp is right next to a pretty decent rock formation, and you're pretty sure that there was an area marked away not too far from here that was dangerous for quicksand. In addition, you also know that even though it's getting closer to morning and the sun's starting to come up, it's still pretty dark and the jungle hides many things. So if people could get loose, it's likely that they should be okay. Most of the rebels here know where the quicksand is, and they would be able to avoid it.
Okay. Yeah, in this case, I think Morgan is going to look towards Hector for a moment and is gonna. I would like to make one request that I be able to talk to my friend Hector here after I have given my answer.
Very well. Don't call me anything but generous, though. I have a heart.
Yes, he is the leader of these poor men.
Then please make your peace with him.
Morgan is going to walk over to him, looking at Hector for a moment. And he is going to, very subtly as he can, try and position himself so he's kind of obfuscated from the sight of the main general dude.
Yeah.
Kind of moving a little bit more into the shadows as he looks towards his friend. Is he like being held by 2 people?
He's being held right now, yes, but
Okay.
you should be able to whisper without them hearing.
Okay. He's just gonna say, "On my signal, run." At which point, in a very fast motion, Morgan is going to quick draw his gun and aiming it to fire it. Basically, his aim is to bring it up to a point between the 2 people that are like holding him and like fire it right next to their ears, so that it causes them to have to let go of him.
Right on. Okay, give me guts and cool for this one. I think.
All right, cool.
This is definitely.
That is 5.
This is definitely cool.
Very cool.
Now, so this is going to be a basic success. You're doing something
All right.
cool, but it's not something that's too
particularly
tricky to pull off here.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Yep, that's a basic success.
That's a pass.
2-1.
Now, if you wanted to, this is relating to pistols, so
True.
you could, if you so wanted, try to re-roll some of that to get an even greater success.
You know, I might as well. I'll re-roll those other 3 dice that aren't ones.
Yeah,
Because I might as well.
might as well.
No.
Oh, you got
It's just
another.
2 regular
You got another
successes.
basic success. So that's something at the very least.
It's 1 for
Okay.
each of them.
Cool. Yeah. So the gun goes off right in their ears, and both of them kind of split. And immediately, Hector is able to get an elbow into one of their teeth and take their rifle, and he just kind of sprays it in the general direction of some of their other guys to help give his guys a chance to get away. And sure enough, everybody kind of spreads out and kind of flees into the jungle one way or the other. As in the chaos, you're going to go ahead and enter combat. So
All right.
here's how this is going to go. Now, initiative is going to work like this. You're going to go, and Hector's going to go. and then the rebels are going to go, and then all of them are going to, and then their one group of baddies is going to go.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to, I think I'll count Hector as part of the rebels just to make this easier.
Cool.
But, so you get to go and the rebels get to go. What would you like to do? Now, on your
Alright.
turn, this is a shootout. So you can go ahead and shoot at them, which would do damage, or you can, instead of shooting them, get into cover or flee into the jungle.
I think Morgan's just gonna be say to the others, "Run now!" as he's gonna run into the jungle.
Cool. So as you kind of flee into the jungle, a lot of the rebels kind of spread out, shooting on their way back as they kind of try to get away. So I'm going to roll for them to shoot back.
Alright.
I'm going to kind of roll for them to shoot back into the jungle here and see where that goes here. Now they're going to have -2 dice because they're kind of, fleeing and firing at the same time. What am I looking for here? Sorry, I'm looking for something specific here. Okay. Do 3, 6. All right, they get 1 basic success, which is not enough, but they are able to at least get into the jungle okay. Why don't you roll me a stunt check?
All right. That is.
Or actually, give me survival instead, since you're kind of needing to navigate
alright.
through the jungle here.
That is 4 dice.
4 dice.
2 4s.
2
Standard
4s.
success.
Right on. All right, so you're able to make it into the jungle okay. It's not perfect cover. You're still, you kind of lose track of where you're going a little bit, but you know generally where the camp is, and where the quicksand is based on where you're at. You hear a lot of gunfire coming, but it's impossible to tell what's happening. So you're out of combat already, so good job.
Yeah.
Now,
To the jungle, trying to find. I imagine they'd have like a place where they were supposed to meet up, or something like a backup location.
yeah, in
Probably head
case
there.
stuff was going to go wrong. Now, you did have that plan a while ago, but partly
yeah.
because Hector's been so stressed and because you've been losing so many people, the plan is kind of out of date. The place that you would be going is pretty far and not exactly convenient to get to. The only as you recall, you're pretty dense, like you're pretty deep into the jungle. Your best bet would probably be the jeep that they had back there, but they're likely going to search for you, so you might be able to work your way back around.
All right. I think he would do that then, do his best to kind of edge his way around, trying not to confront them directly because he doesn't want to get into a shootout. And again, look for a vehicle or something he could use.
Yeah.
Look for Hector to see if he actually got out or if he's dead.
Why don't you roll me a stealth check?
All right.
And I will say the jungle is concealing you enough that you can get a +2 to that.
Ooh, thank you very much, because it's not a lot of dice otherwise. 5 dice. 2 4s.
2 4s. Okay. So you're able to creep around the edge of the jungle. You can't seem to, you hear kind of vague gunfire coming from a lot of different directions. It seems that most of the soldiers have been drawn out into the jungle. Currently, the general is still at the camp, and he's with the jeep. He's got himself an AK-47, and you also see that Hector did not make it. It looks like Hector tried to buy everybody more time and lost his life in the process.
I think with that, Morgan just kind of shake his head and go, Hector. Kind of takes a moment, but then shakes his head, knowing this isn't the time for mourning. He's going to try and creep his way closer to the jeep.
Go ahead and roll me another stealth check. This time you're going to need a critical success. 3 of a kind, baby. And
Alright.
I'm going to reduce your bonus by 1. So you're going to get 1 extra.
No. Alright, cool. Let's go. Oh, that was so close. It's only a standard success.
Only a standard success. Now, this is what I was hoping for. So now you get to choose to do something. So you can push your luck. Now what that means is you get to re-roll your dice anyway. However, should you fail, what am I? Hang on, I gotta try to find something real fast.
You die.
You die. Yeah, should you fail, you die instantly. If you take a risk and push your luck, you can re-roll any dice that weren't part of success. And if you fail, if you fail, you lose a single success.
Oh, okay.
Now, even though you aren't succeeding at the critical success right now, that basic success can still do something for you, like get you to the car, but he notices you or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Do you want to take the risk?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Let's take the risk. Why not?
Yeah, right on. All right, go for it.
All right, re-rolling the 1 and the 3. Ah, bad luck.
Unfortunate. All right, so you did get a second success, another basic success, which I think means you're good, though. Oh, no, because you re-rolled.
No, yeah, it's a re-roll, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. All right, so you see your opportunity. You see him take off his hat and kind of rub the back of his neck. And in that amount of time, you try to make a run for the car as quietly as possible. But you just slish on the mud just a little bit too loudly, and he spins around and just unleashes a round of assault rifle fire into the area around you. So I'm going to need you to make a stunt check to try to avoid dying here or taking some damage.
Let's go.
Now,
Avoiding death.
This is a danger. So what this means for you is you need he's a critical enemy, so you're going to need a critical success in order to not take damage. If you fail, you're going to spend some of your luck points. You've got 10 until you start having real bad things happen.
Yep. All right. Well, I will see how this roll goes. Only a single success.
Only a single success. Okay. So the good news is that is going to reduce the amount of luck that you suffer by 1. So let me just double check something real fast. I just want to double check I got the numbers right. Okay. Let me see. Enemies hurt. Sorry, I'm trying to find the damn page. I should have probably should have marked this somewhere. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So you're going to lose 3 luck, but your basic success is going to reduce that by 1. So you're only going to lose 2 luck. So the bullets kind of string through, and you realize that the only reason why he didn't kill you was because he lost his footing a little bit in the spin around. But you're able to kind of dive behind the Jeep, and he goes, "Is that you, Doctor? Oh, I really hope it's you."
Morgan's kind of ducking down behind the Jeep at this point, breathing heavily, kind of looking around, waiting for a moment, kind of realizing there's not a lot of options here. He's going to pull out his gun and kind of take a moment to kind of creep around the Jeep for a moment, trying to listen out for footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try and find a point where he might be able to duck in and shoot the guy in the leg.
Seems like you've got a good shot on him. Think you could do it. So in order to hit him, you're going to need a critical success. And you do have an expertise in pistols. So it's going to be a shoot check. It's going to be a guts and shoot check. And you'll get to re-roll dice.
Yep. All right. Gut shoot. 6 dice. Here we go. That is a crit.
That is a critical success. Okay.
3 fours.
So you see just the opportunity and you kind of dive out from behind the car and land in the mud and shoot him right in the leg. And he drops the gun. He goes, ah! Ah! He collapses down. Now, you definitely made a lot of noise, but he is out of commission for the purposes of trying to shoot back at you for right now.
Yeah. I think with that, Morgan's just going to immediately jump on the opportunity and trying to start it up so he can get out of here
You're
as
able
quickly as
to.
possible.
Yeah, you're able to, and you're able to jam that Jeep down as you hear the guy going, "Damn you! I'll kill you, you son of a..." You drive for a couple of hours before your satellite phone starts to get signal again. And sure enough, you've got 3 missed calls from a Mr. Bryce Howard.
All right. I mean, I think at this point he's just gonna focus on getting out, but there's like a point as he looks down to it. Is it like any messages, or is it just missed call?
There are voicemails.
Okay. He'd probably check the voicemails to know what's going on, but he'd also be very aware that he's driving in a pretty dangerous jungle alone.
Yeah, he's driving safe. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
The voicemails go along as such. It's generally a, "Hey, Morgan, baby, it's Bryce. I got in a little bit of trouble in Guam. But I'm onto something big, something real big. I'm talking like millions in lost treasure big. I got a couple other people involved. But well, I kind of made some friends in the process, and well, we could use somebody to handle security and make sure that people are, generally healthy. I don't know exactly where this is going to take us, but there's a lot of different biomes in the Roman Empire, so look, call me back when you get a chance. We're heading to South America. I know you were working there last. Hopefully you aren't still on a job. And if you are, cancel it, because this is bigger. Call me.
Yeah. I think at this point he's just gonna redial, calling the number.
Oh, shit, Morgan. Hey, it's Bryce. How are you doing, man? I haven't been able to get a hold of you for like 2 days.
Yeah, I have been deep in the jungles. As it just so happens, I am still in South America and look to be no longer on my previous employment. Where are we meeting up?
That's something ominously worded enough to say that you are unemployed, so I am happy to hire you. All right, cool. So we're currently in a little place, and he names a city that's not close, but it's not too far. You'd be able to get there in a day or two. You think you can meet us there?
I should be there in 24 hours or so.
All right. I'll see you there.
At that point, just hangs up.
Guys,
Oh.
it's me.
Is there a
Well-
Thomas?
But it is me.
We've got a surprise Thomas. That's adorable. I love it.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I am back from 3 hours on the road. It is hot in Australia. I smell unpleasant, but I'm here.
Do you wish to join us? Because I'm all set up for if you want to join us, and it's actually at a perfect time for it as well.
I may wish to join you. Let me click on the button, so I can get in the roll 20.
There's not much there. It's basically just where we're rolling dice. So, oh, perfect. Hang on, and I've even got a transition all set up for this here too. Here. Oh man.
But yes, I'm sorry for interrupting. Whatever
Hey,
I interrupted.
Thomas, you can interrupt. Okay, we are back. Hello, everybody. Hello. We've got a Thomas here now. Hi, Thomas. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing okay. Especially with some time to get some water and stuff. I am back. I'm ready to go, raring to go.
Water's the best. It makes me so happy. I'm hydrated as well. Now Thomas plays Goretrix in Bon-Waylaid, Bob's Pendragon game, and they're going to be playing Dr. Neil Hammer, the Professor Hunk, in
Dr. Professor
That's
Neil Hammer. Sorry.
Dr. Professor, right? Sorry, that's Mr. Dr. Professor, sir. Okay, so where we last left off, our darling Howard Hal Briggs was flying his associate Bryce after a hairy escape from Guam to pick up a couple other associates of his to find this treasure that's apparently worth hundreds of millions. And he's refused to talk too much more about it until he gets everybody in the same room. Sure enough, after a couple of days of difficult travel and uncomfortable flights, or driving through the jungle, or what have you, eventually everybody arrives in this little hole-in-the-wall motel/bar called the Quinceañera in Mexico City. Who would like to be there first?
I vote Thomas. I think it's a good introduction for him.
I agree.
Alrighty, I shall take it.
So Thomas, what are you doing here at the quinceanera?
Dr. Professor Neil Hammer, he has mixed feelings about Bryce. He always has. But his information is usually good, so he's here in good faith. He has gotten here just a few hours ago. He's got his bags packed in a separate hotel room. But he's here and he's already getting his drink on. The drink is a milkshake.
Oh, wonderful. It's not the highest quality milkshake. It's kind of basically just ice cream with a little bit of milk in it, and they have-
He's sitting there simply watching over the people, basically.
yeah.
He's been burned before,
Yeah,
and he knows to recognize a concealed pistol.
indeed. Yeah, he knows. This milkshake is it's okay. It's not super quality. It's basically a little bit more than just ice cream and some milk mixed in there. But you've had worse. It could be a lot worse. They've got the local football game is up on the that's football is up on the television, and it's fairly unpopulated right now. There's a couple of people that are there, but mostly it's people who are getting a drink and then going to bed in the motel. So it's not too hard to make out when another man with spectacles comes in to hang out at this little bar, that he's probably one of the people that you're meant to be meeting here. Hey, Mark, you want to hop in?
Yes, as arrives Dr. Morgan Dalton. Walking in, he kind of looks around, adjusting his glasses. So he kind of examines the people in the room, and then would look over to Dr. Professor Neil Hammer, move over to him, goes, pardon me, sir, but you wouldn't happen to be the accomplished Dr. Hammer?
The milkshake does bring the boys to the yard, and I think you're one of my contacts here, right, Doctor? I out of character. I forgot your name.
Dr. Dalton.
You're Dr. Dalton, right? I actually read one of your medical papers.
Yes. Yes, I've read numerous of your own papers on such different cultures and such. It is very good work you do.
And likewise. Normally, when I meet with mutual friends of Bryce, they're normally much more dull-headed grave robbery, that kind of thing.
I do agree. It is the common sort he tends to associate.
Still, come up, pull up a chair. I can't recommend the milkshakes.
Yes, that is fair. I do not know if I would he kind of looks around at the place. Drink here, but I shall sit.
Gotta appreciate the local flavor, which may or may not be cholera.
Around this time, Hal, you make your way in. Bryce split off from you a little bit. He said he had to do some research and pick up some supplies, but he said that you should go ahead and head to the place, and if the people are there, make small talk. He's told you shockingly little about what else, is in store for this little adventure you guys have got going.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Hal would wander in, probably having just traveled here recently. I don't know how recently we got off the plane, but nevertheless, he's hot and looking for some shade. So he finds his way in. He's kind of fanning himself with his hat as he does so. He takes a quick glimpse around the place to see who's all here before wandering towards the bar.
It's pretty much the usual suspects, save for the two figures at the bar, neither of which really look like they belong here, and they seem to be having a fine conversation with each other.
He'll lean on the bar and say, "Gin martini, please." And he looks over at Dr. Professor here and says, "Is that a milkshake?"
You're right. Granted, I'm somewhat regretting the purchase, but can't have alcohol too early in the morning. It's it's 6 a.m. somewhere.
The bartender slides a really dirty looking gin martini across the bar to Hal in response to that.
Yeah. Hal looks down at the drink a moment and kind of makes like a gross face, and then just shrugs and begins to sip on it.
Brave man.
Don't tell anyone. Rather that not be my reputation. The name's Hal. Must be my passengers' acquaintances.
Yeah, that'll be it.
It would seem so. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to describe. The archetype of Professor Hunk matches very, very well. Neil Hammer is big, packed with muscle, but he seems to like cover it up with a tweed jacket, even in the heat of Mexico. And beneath it is a regular dress shirt. He doesn't have a tie on. There is a distinct absence of a tie. And his hat is uncovered. You feel he should be wearing a fedora or a trilby made of leather, but he doesn't, because the people who do that are Indiana Jones, and he's a hack. But he does have short cropped hair, brown in color, brown as his eyes. He's got a chiseled jawline.
This is a Professor Hunk with opinions.
Yes.
He'll be here shortly. We can discuss business then. How have the two of you been? Does Morgan look like he's been through hell recently?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have Hal. Do you have to roll to have Hal notice that, or is it something he would probably just
I
No,
think-
it's probably something very obvious.
Yeah, it's probably pretty noticeable.
You probably notice. I think probably like there's like a crack through one of his glasses. His hair is a little messier than he would like it. And he looks to be covered in a bit of it's like a thick layer of dirt that's kind of just been brushed away, kind of.
He raises his glass, takes a sip from it.
Yeah, I have been exploring the Amazon. It's messy business. I do not recommend it.
It's fair. Words.
There's a moment of awkward silence that passes as the small talk has been had.
Sorry about that. I thought you were addressing someone else specifically.
Fortunately, though, good news for all of you, Bryce kind of makes his way in. Now, all of you have been more or less acquainted with Bryce. He's been various degrees of reliable. He's been reliable enough that you guys were all willing to meet him here, and that you believed him when he said he was on to something big. But you also know that he is ultimately self-serving in the end, and that can oftentimes lead to some blurred lines. But he makes his way up to the bar and sits down, kind of wraps his arms around specifically Hal and Neil, and he goes, "Ah, good, we're all here. Wonderful. Oh, I'm so excited. How you all been? I hope it wasn't too much of a trouble to get you out here on such short notice."
I've been okay. When you got tenure, you can do pretty much anything. So extended leaves of absence to find archaeological digs, that's fine. Like last time, I came back with, I think, the Hope Diamond.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. How are you doing, Morgan?
I have been very busy. Um, the jungles are no easy place to travel.
Hey,
Many sicknesses for men to be gained, and quite a lot for a medical professional like me to do.
yeah, well, you certainly look like hell. Hey, well,
I will be happy for an easier job if that is what you are offering.
hey, good news. I might have some easier. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but all right. All right, I'm just gonna show you. I was thinking about doing something like fancy with it, but here. And he reaches into his coat pocket and he pulls out what looks like to be a very tattered and ancient-looking, like it's a scroll made out of the stuff that's from the Nile. What is it? Papyrus? It's papyrus. It's a
Yeah.
papyrus scroll.
Yeah.
And he rolls it out onto the table, and it's written in Latin, and it's an old version of Latin. Why don't you guys all
May
make
I-
me? Oh,
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I was just about to go, may I make a knowledge culture roll?
You may. Everybody here can make a knowledge culture roll to see if they can decipher this this text here. Now, I think most of you guys are pretty good at that. So,
Only 2 of the same.
Yeah, regular success.
so you will need a basic success to kind of get the gist, and a critical success to understand it perfectly. A critical success is 3 of a kind, and a basic success is 2 of a kind.
Indeed.
Right. I lost my sheet here. One sec.
It's all good. I'll see if I can figure out how to put it on Roll20 and make it all in the same place for you guys.
I'm just trying to figure out where I put it here. I lost it my tabs. One sec.
Title is bob.pdf.
Yeah, but it's not visible anywhere. So I wonder if
Gotcha.
I close it. Okay. So it's just 4 days.
And the both of us were so close to a crit success.
If you'd like, you do have the option to now potentially you have the option to risk this. And what a risk means is that you pick any number of dice that aren't already successes and you re-roll them. If you fail, you lose a success, and if you succeed, then you get whatever else you roll. So if you would like to do that, you can. It is entirely optional to you.
You know that insane risks are my thing, out of character. So how does this work? Do I roll 4 dice and then...
Yep, you just let me know which ones you want to keep, which I assume you want to keep both 5s and roll everything else.
Yeah.
Then go for it, amigo.
Watch me fail horribly. It's going to be great. All I need is 1 5. Which I do get.
Hey, there you go. Okay, so I'll start with Bob and Mark here. So both you guys looking over this thing, you both know a little bit of Latin, and you're able to kind of follow along. Something, something, something. I regret the decisions I've made. Something, something, something. The power struggle that's going to overwhelm the Roman Empire. Something, something, something. Augustus. Something, something. The first triumvirate. Something, something. Massive wealth. And then it's signed Brutus. Now, Thomas, Neil is very well versed in this kind of thing. And what you get from the document is it is essentially Brutus's suicide note. He documents a decent amount of the weeks leading up to his defeat and, his stoic suicide at the hands of his pursuers. He speaks about trying to raid Augustus's camp, who was chasing him, and Augustus being nowhere to be found. And on his, in his last words, he writes this letter to a friend of his, specifically speaking about that Mark Antony and Augustus will tear each other apart, looking for the the first triumvirate's lost wealth. And on it, you can make out a bunch of letters that are seemingly purposefully miswritten. There's a good amount of pieces of this that seem to be some kind of cipher that could potentially lead you somewhere. But based on the amount of wealth that he speaks of, it could very well be in the hundreds of millions. In additional, and I'll give you a little bit of extra here too, Thomas, and this is just for you. You would know that one of the three of the original Roman triumvirate, the one that wasn't Pompey, I think Crassus, Crassus was at the time of his death the richest Roman alive, and it took decades for anyone to match the amount of wealth that he had as a private citizen. This was during Caesar's height of the Roman Empire as well, so it's quite a bit.
I used to say that Crassus was rich as Croesus, which is where we get a lot of our words from. The jewels of the earth.
Yeah, does seem to be some writings of perhaps even Brutus himself.
It looks genuine. It's got the kind of knowledge that I wouldn't expect your run-of-the-mill forger to fake.
Exactly. And here's the thing.
I'm
Go
sure
ahead.
this by itself would fetch a pretty penny, but I imagine you didn't drag us all here just to look at this.
Exactly. See, Brutus wrote 4 letters the night that he killed himself. He sent them out to different parts of his, to different conspirators, the ones that helped assassinate Julius Caesar. And each one of them had a different segment of this code. You can see that some of the letters are misspelled on there, yes?
Yep, I got that. He's just writing a couple of things down on a napkin.
Now, the other letters have been lost or destroyed for the most part, but one of the conspirators, before they all were captured or killed or committed suicide, whatever they had to do, they marked it down somewhere. Somewhere in Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe, there is a log that has all of the information needed to find this treasure. I'm certain of it. And if my contact that got me this is right, it could be an immeasurable amount of wealth. More than any of us could find out what to spend with. And he looks to Neil and he goes, of course, the greatest archaeological find of the century.
Good save. Good save.
I had to fit it in there somewhere. Now, I could try to find this myself, but the truth is, I understand I'm not smart enough. I found this, I got lucky, and I've got the know-how to get you guys together. But I think that the 4 of us have the best shot, have a real shot at finding this thing. If we do, then we split it 4 ways.
I reckon that's not a bad plan. Even though I almost said Gartrix. Even though Neil narrows his eyes, getting a little suspicious of the dude when he starts self-deprecating. That's how it all begins. He nods thoughtfully and then brings out a little folded square of paper from inside his tweed jacket, and then unfolds it, and then unfolds it, and then unfolds it, and then unfolds it, and it's a map of the world.
It's an atlas. Excellent. Okay, lovely. So, I have a map of the world for you guys. I'm going to put up on the Roll20 here. Oh, by the way, Thomas, just for your own information, because I did neglect to mention it specifically, but the time period is close enough to modern times that it you can basically substitute it anywhere within the last 10 or 20 years. So
Perfect. He's still gonna use the atlas.
yeah, of course. Well, you need to mark. You need to be able to make marks on it. You know?
Yeah. He's never got a hang of those stylus things. They're too small in his hands.
How do I don't remember. Oh, that's right. I remember how to do this. Sorry, I'm so new to. Ironically, despite DMing on Roll20 a bunch, I am still new to DMing on Roll20. So.
All good, man.
Where is that thing that I just took? Where did it go? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
There's a banjo playing in the background.
Yeah. Oh, that's blurry. Let's not use that one. That one's quite blurry. Is this one gonna work? Is this one gonna cooperate with us? It's working. It's working. It's uploading.
Glorious.
Oh no, that's. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now we got a map. All right, so you guys are welcome to. I think you guys have draw tools, access to draw tools. You guys are welcome to mark this up as much as you like.
On the Roll20, I do not yet see it.
Oh,
I'm gonna reload.
wait.
I think we're on the I think we're on the wrong
Yeah,
page.
you guys are on
Yeah,
the wrong page.
Page.
Hang on,
Yep.
let me. You guys are on start. Yes.
I don't know. We
I
can't
think
see
It's a
that.
blank page.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I am an expert at these things. I'm not an old man who doesn't know how technology works. Silence you. Don't. How dare you?
How dare we scoff at thee?
There we go. It's coming. There we go. Whoop. Now it's too big.
Beauty.
I made it too small, and now it's too big.
Oh, this is. Oh,
It's jumping around. Be wary. All right, there we go. So yeah, you guys are welcome to mark this up as much as you like. Mark.
alrighty, Mark, you're on it. Alright, so in its, let's say, peak, the Roman Empire consisted of about this much.
Yep, pretty much correct.
That is close enough.
Hmm.
So
Everything based around the Mediterranean.
So we are talking about the pieces of this code being most, if not the entirety of Europe, good amount of Africa, and the Middle East.
More or less.
Well,
We've got some ground to cover.
Brian, you said. Oh, sorry, you go.
We've got some ground to cover, certainly.
But like you said, southeastern Europe, or like in this case, the Turkey, Libya area, the kind of stuff that became part of the Byzantine Empire later on, that was where a lot of the conspirators fled to, because of course Augustus was in Italy.
Exactly, and I'm gonna use cyan here for Bryce, but Bryce is gonna go freehand. Do. Specifically, it was around this area of Syria. Oh, hang on, let me make that thinner. Can I make that thinner? Oh dear. Oh no. Oh. Uh-oh. We're fine. Anyway, that's fine. Specifically, that area around Syria was where both Cassius and Brutus were when they died. Yeah. Now, I've got it on good authority that this area in Algeria is where one of those pillars, the carvings of the symbols could be. In addition, there's of course some rumblings that, Rome is the most obvious spot, but it might be too obvious. Beyond that, I don't really have any ideas. It's Syria and Algeria and bust, I suppose.
Well, as far as the location of the actual treasure goes, I would imagine it would be somewhere near France, actually, like location of Julius Caesar's conquests into the Gaulish lands. But if we find any of these pillars, they might lead us to other ones.
That might be smart. Especially, well, the Triumvirate split its power pretty regularly, pretty evenly, well, until they didn't, but that's besides the point. I know that Crassus basically ran an area that was all the way along the south and the west of the Mediterranean itself. So, if Caesar kept his money, or if Crassus kept his money, I imagine it'd probably have to be pretty close, right?
Yep. No wireless bank transfers back in the days of antiquity.
What do you think, everyone? Is this something you're willing to try?
I would say it is certainly a good balance of risk and reward. But there is a lot of ground to cover and many clues for us left to find.
You mentioned ground to cover or air. That's what I do. If that's what we're looking for and that's what we need, you consider that part done. So I'm just going to make a quick comment out of character. So I imagine you guys are going to find some times to run this when, if the Pendragon stream and whatnot is off. So I think with the pilot, I can either be there or not, and it doesn't affect things. So that's why I'm responding in that way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It does.
I think that's
Cool.
that's perfect. I was kind of hoping that might be the case too. Is you
Okay.
know you can hop in if you can, and if not, it's not a big deal. But
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't
it should
coming
be
off as Bob exiting. It's more like I can be here or not that way.
Yeah,
So,
it should be a loose enough game that if Thomas or Mark can't make it, Bob and Thomas can go, or Bob and Mark, or just Thomas and Mark and whatever. It should be able to do any configuration, and it won't be a big deal. So, you know. But all right, cool. So let me ask you guys this: you guys have a clear goal. You guys have a very large search area, but at least something to kind of narrow it down. It's 11:30 here in the U.S. I know Thomas is real tired and Bob's probably got stuff to do. Do you guys want to call it right now? We've got a good amount of time in there, or do you guys want to push for another 30 minutes?
I'm fine with continuing. It's up to the other peeps.
I'm good for either.
Looks like you're the command chair, Bob. Executor, Mr. Decisiono. Oh God, we've lost Bob. He's dead.
Yeah,
No.
it's the only possible explanation.
No, the assassins got him. All right. Well, since you guys are still good to go, we'll consider Bob a pending yes for now.
But how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm tired. I've had a long week, but like I'm enjoying myself, and I don't have to be up super early tomorrow, so I'm good to go.
Sorry guys, I'm back.
Hello.
Hey, I tried to sneak away for 30 seconds. Well, sorry, I've like doubled my water intake, and my body's thus reacting.
Dude,
so.
I feel you. That has been me tonight.
Yeah.
I was trying to play Empire at War earlier, and I was trying to finish a battle before having to run to the bathroom, and eventually I was like, I'm going to legitimately retreat from this battle and lose something I can win, because they just dropped 3 more ships out of hyperspace, and I do not have time for that. I'm going to the bathroom. I don't care.
Yeah, for sure. What was the question? I heard pending yes when I got back. So.
Yes, I was just putting forward it's 11:30. I was asking the group if they were good to continue for a little bit longer, or if you guys wanted to call it. And everybody gave a very, we are okay to keep going, but we have no preference, except for you who was pending yes.
Pending yes. I think I'm at the point where I've probably got to call in the next 20 or 30 minutes. I was gonna keep Pendragon short tonight if I ran, just because I have the kids tomorrow and they're off school.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Let's call it now then, because now's a good time. I mean, you guys have got to set up. Thomas didn't get to do very many exciting roles yet, but he got to be smart. That's good.
For sure. Sorry if I'm calling anything short on you. Like I would have had till 12 kind of thing.
Don't worry
but,
about it, man.
I think at least me and Thomas are probably in a place where we're good to keep going, but we're also probably gonna be comfortable
fine to
with
rest.
Yeah, fine to take a break. So
yeah, I'm kind of the same place. Like I could push it longer, but probably only like a half hour, 45 minutes anyway. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Did you guys like this? Did you guys have fun? Cool system. Cool stuff.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
Cool.
Definitely.
Cool.
It was a fun little like the little scene with escaping with Bryce was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a really fun system. I think I really enjoy the way it all works together, and it's very loosey goosey, but in a way that like is consistent.
Yeah.
So, but alrighty. Well, this has been Bon-Waylaid. Adventures in a Different Time. We've been playing Broken Compass, and I'm gonna go ahead and go through everybody here. We'll say our goodbyes, and if you guys want to plug things, you can. Though I have a feeling that only Bob is gonna plug things. We'll see. Go ahead, Mark.
Hello, I have been Mark. Thank you all who have been watching and or might be watching later or whatever. I don't know how we're gonna do with this thing.
I did start recording it late, but it is mostly recorded.
Right. We have part of a recording, so if you are listening to this afterwards, then you listen to half of the recording. Come watch us live if you can. If not, join our Discord. We got fun things there, like memes and random messages. I have been me, and yeah. Hope you guys all have a good night or day or time. Bye.
He has such a way with words. Alrighty, Bob, what you got for us?
I just wanted to comment first off, like you're if you got half the recording of the show, at least you got the GM talking, and that's a really important part. From my stream.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
I'm Bob. I run Pendragon for these guys on Sundays. You can find it on Twitch at Bon-Waylaid or on YouTube. I think I'm Ticking Time Bob on there. You can also access the Discord through those groups. Feel free to reach out. YouTube's the one for sure where you can access. I don't think I figured out how to put the Discord link up properly on Twitch. One day I will.
I also was having trouble figuring that out. But you will see in the bottom right corner, people who are watching, you've got twitch.tv/Bon-Waylaid right there. So go ahead and subscribe to them, or follow them, and you'll see more fun stuff from us, messing around in King Arthur times. And Bob is an excellent DM, so I definitely would experience that if you can.
Thank you, sir. And just wanted to say thanks, Liam, for running. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, my pleasure. I typically struggle with online DMing, so it was nice to have a fun time and just keep it chill and light and like, oh, I only have to do this like once every couple of months. That might be fun. We'll see. But yeah, okay. Thomas, what have you got for us? How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. Well, actually, the hot water pressure in my shower, it's not as good as it could be. Anyway, yes, Bob and Mark mentioned all of the things that I would otherwise mention, where we do stuff in King Arthur times, and we have a lot of fun. Otherwise, do not perceive me. I do not exist.
Lovely. Alrighty, and then of course I've been Liam. You can follow me at Twitter at Darth Coakley down there. I've got it in the corner, and of course I'll say one more time, follow Bon-Waylaid. We do cool stuff like this every Sunday there. Not this specifically, but we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. But I had a lovely time, and thank you for stopping by. Bye.
Farewell. We're such professionals.
We're so good at this.
Take care,
We're
everyone.
so good at
Very
this.
professional.